Welcome to the next episode of the Existential Unnecessary Dialogue monologue. Today we take a journey into the most pleasurable, healing state of being, not through thought, but through embodiment. Let's begin with this quote taken from a book called The Disappearance of the Universe by Gary Renard. Everything is constant in heaven. That's the only way it can be completely dependable instead of chaotic. Imagine the very peak of a perfect sexual orgasm, except this orgasm never stops. It keeps going on forever, with no decrease in its powerful and flawless intensity. The physical act of sex doesn't even come close to the incredible bliss of heaven. It's just a poor, made-up imitation of union with God. Heaven, on the other hand, is a perfect, indescribable ecstasy that never ceases. This quote sets the tone for everything we're about to explore. Because what the physical world teaches us to chase is only a tiny echo of what's truly available when we align with Source through the body. In this episode, I take you through the energy centers, the chakras, that show you how to awaken each one, how to move energy consciously from the base to the pineal, and how to code every cell in the body with gratitude, the command code for transformation. This is not about religion. This is not about doctrine. This is about sovereign embodiment, about becoming the bridge between source and self. So, get comfortable, bring your awareness home, and let's begin a journey into sovereignty through the chakras, the energy centers of the body. This journey begins, as most transformations do, with a story grounded in shock, fear, and the unknown. On Saturday night, I heard a huge thud. I ran upstairs to find Steve collapsed on the bathroom floor, unconscious, moaning incoherently. He was too weak to stand, and I wasn't strong enough to lift him. He hadn't kept anything down for days. Everything he ate or drank was violently rejected, each time bringing up dark black bile, the color indicating internal bleeding. His bowel had shut down. Elimination had ceased. The ambulance arrived and took him straight to the emergency room. There, we were told, he will not recover from this. And then the question, where would he like to live out the end of his days? At home or here in the hospital? As you might imagine, or perhaps not, this was a shocking moment for both of us. But you may wonder why it shocked us, and not because it was unexpected. It shocked us because we don't see Steve as someone who has cancer, or even someone healing from cancer. We see him as beyond healed, as the embodiment of perfect health, as he has always been. 3 months ago, a full-body scan confirmed what we already knew. The cancer that had metastasized to his bones, stomach, spine, and liver was now only detectable in the liver. The scan simply backed up what we had already energetically and consciously coded into the field. So, of course, we continued our protocols. We knew the frequency. We trusted the process. We were not in denial. We were in alignment with a different reality. But here's what surprised me even more than the doctor's prognosis. The doctor's version of reality was shared by almost everyone I spoke to. Their vision was considered normal. Mine was considered radical. And in that moment, I realized I was alone in my thinking. And that was the convergence, the moment when everything I had ever learned, taught, and trusted came together. The moment when everything I wrote in the law of creation became my own final exam. A 4-year journey of co-creation, understanding frequency, thought, and reality. Now tested in real time, not theory, but embodiment. I've been called delusional and in denial for thinking differently, for taking an alternative approach to cancer, disease, and health. And I get it. From a traditional worldview, I probably do seem like I'm a sandwich short of the picnic. But allow me to shed a little light on the foundation of my thinking. Everything is energy. Therefore, I am energy, which means I'm not only energetic, I am everything at the same time. Energy vibrates. It carries a unique frequency. So what am I, really? I am a unique frequency signature vibrating at the resonance of Tracy Webster. That vibration doesn't just float around doing nothing. It emits, it attracts. It calls in matching frequencies, which translate into the experiences I live. These experiences are not good or bad. They're just energy. They are what I came here to engage with and overcome vibrationally. Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and everything we encounter is purposeful. Nothing is coincidental. Nothing is meaningless. Now, let's zoom out. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, which means all energy already exists. That includes all books already written and yet to be written, all futures, all pasts, all timelines. Every version of me as Tracy Webster, me as a toddler, me as a teenager, me as a grandmother, me taller, shorter, thinner, heavier, me as a scientist, a teacher, a nurse, a CEO, me in every culture, every role, every potential timeline. All of it already exists. So how did I land in this version of me? A Caucasian woman, mother, grandmother, wife, ontologist, living in the UK, working from home, and transmuting everything that is into everything I want. Simple. Because this is the version I tuned into. I aligned my awareness here. I focused my frequency signature on this stream of possibilities, and it rendered into form. So, when I was told, this is the end for Stephen, I didn't argue. I didn't reject the doctor's reality as wrong, because they weren't wrong. They were simply tuned into a different version of the simulation, a version where Steve's story ended here, a version they projected onto us. But I knew that version has nothing to do with me. For their diagnosis to become my reality, I would have to agree with it. This is a transactional-based universe after all. Nothing happens without my agreement to it happening. I match it vibrationally, and that is my handshake agreement. I would have to let it into my awareness, align with it, and give it power. And I didn't. As I stood in front of the doomsayer doctor, I did not argue. I simply refused to align with their version of reality. In that moment, I understood what sovereignty really means. What I believe holds sovereignty over my experience. What I focus on is law in my universe and shapes the world I perceive. And this is why I stand in a different version of reality than what others may expect. 4 days later, Steve could walk again. All bodily functions were working, and he discharged himself from the hospital. There was no sound explanation from the medical staff for the blockage or the symptoms he had been experiencing. They believed it was related to the cancer but couldn't quite connect the dots. But we knew exactly what had happened. In true character, both Steve and I had asked for accelerated growth, and we were divinely led to an experience that catapulted our transformation. Everything happens exactly as it is meant to. Think of a plane taking off from New York en route to Los Angeles. The pilot doesn't simply set a course and fly in a straight line from takeoff to landing. The plane goes off course many times, and the pilot continuously makes subtle adjustments to bring it back on track. We are that plane. Our awareness is the pilot. We go off course constantly, and we're meant to, but we must be the ones to guide ourselves back. I do this with a mantra. It's my energetic autopilot reset, my course correction code. Whenever reality seems to head somewhere I don't want to go, I call in this truth. I am divinely guided. Nothing matters. Everything that happens is meant to happen. If it's happening, it's not only meant to, it's happening for my benefit. That means there's never anything to worry about. And everything, without exception, brings a gift. Find the gift, be grateful for it. I repeated this mantra in the hospital, and something miraculous happened. My life flashed before my eyes, not in fear, but in recognition. I saw every experience I had ever lived, and I realized with absolute clarity, everything in my life had prepared me for this moment. All the challenges, all the heartaches, all the insights, all the expansions. I had every resource I needed to navigate this, to choose a successful outcome, because what I believe to be true supersedes what anyone else believes to be true for me. And no doctor, no diagnosis, no system of authority has any control over what I energetically bring into my own reality. Only I do. That is sovereignty. Here's what I discovered. It takes an enormous amount of courage to march to your own convictions, especially when almost everyone around you sees things differently. Life equips us with exactly the resources we need, precisely when we need them. I had already cultivated a deep confidence in the process, fully trusting that everything is working out in my favor and for my highest benefit. I also walk in faith, knowing that I am divinely guided every step of the way. And with that knowing, there is never anything to fear. It is from this space, from this foundation of trust, that I came face to face with my greatest fear and stood there, unwavering. Now, we move from theory to embodiment, from surviving the moment to transcending it through the body itself. This is where we journey through the 7 energy centers, also known as the chakras, each one a vibrational gateway to our sovereignty. But first, let's take a quick reflection on what we truly are. We are energy, energy that cannot be created nor destroyed, which means we are infinite and eternal by nature. So the question becomes, how do we connect to that eternal part of ourselves? Here's how I did it. I asked myself, can I feel the soles of my feet? Yes, I can. Why? Because I placed my awareness there. So, by that same logic, can I feel my internal organs? My liver, heart, kidneys? Of course I can. Just because it's inside and we cannot see it doesn't mean we cannot connect to it. So, I wondered, if I can feel myself on an organ level, can I feel myself on a cellular level? As I meditated on this, my awareness instantly connected with each of my cells. Then I asked, can I connect with everything? In that moment, my awareness pixelated, and suddenly I was aware of myself as infinitesimally small and infinitely large all at once. I remember thinking, oh, wow, now what? So I wondered, can I make each pixelated part of me vibrate at the frequency of gratitude? Instantly, it happened. And that, right there, is what I now call my full body orgasm activation. I began to ponder, what is the most elevated, pleasurable, healing state of being the body can experience? I thought about success. I'd felt success in the corporate world. That felt great. I had won in competitive sport. Winning felt amazing. But when I really asked my body, it told me, orgasm. So I mentally stimulated my root chakra until it zinged with orgasmic energy. Then I moved that energy up to the sacral chakra and let it express through the orange filter of joy and creation. Then up to the solar plexus, where it glowed with sunshine power. Then to the heart center, and when it hit the heart, it exploded. Science confirms what mystics have known all along. The heart is not just an emotional center, it's an energetic powerhouse. Greg Braden, referencing research from HeartMath, explains that the electromagnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain. So, when we bring energy up from the root to the heart, when gratitude explodes in that center, we're not just feeling good, we're broadcasting healing, creation, and transformation through the most powerful field we have access to. This is why the full body gratitude activation doesn't just change your mood, it changes your field. The gratitude I felt in that moment was the most powerful, the most expansive, the most orgasmic I have ever felt. I extended that energy outward into all the pixelated parts of me. Now every aspect of my being was vibrating with orgasmic gratitude. And this is what I call my full body orgasm, or the full body gratitude activation. Here's what I know about gratitude and the heart. Orgasmic gratitude heals the body. It's what I refer to as infinite gratitude. And it is, quite literally, the currency of the universe. How much gratitude must one pay to have what they want? Infinite gratitude. This meditation is one way I reach it. Another way is through simple, everyday reverence. For example, when I pee, I thank the toilet for all that it does in service of me, especially the flushing part. I thank my kidneys, my bladder, my urethra. I thank the toilet paper for its service. These are moments, millions of them, that we miss. Opportunities to pay gratitude forward, And each time we do, we shift our state of being, because every transformation begins and ends with gratitude. And when we live in gratitude, we don't just heal, we ascend. The sacred power of conscious energy activation. There's something deeply personal I've never spoken about publicly, until now. From a young age, I discovered that I could generate a powerful energetic sensation by consciously engaging the muscles in my pelvic region. At the time, I didn't understand what it was. I only knew that it felt alive, electric, and profoundly connected to something more. Over the years, this practice became a refined inner skill, a way to direct energy with intention and awareness. I now understand this for what it truly is, a form of conscious Kundalini activation, energy mastery through thought and focus alone. This ability allows me to stimulate the base chakra, the root of life force energy, at will, without movement, without external input. I can consciously excite the energy in this center and guide it upward through my energetic system, allowing it to move through the sacral, solar plexus, heart, and beyond, each center expressing its unique emotional frequency as the energy ascends. When this current reaches the heart center, it doesn't just expand, it explodes into gratitude, a deep, cellular, cosmic gratitude, a frequency so pure, so ecstatic that the only words I have for it are full body gratitude activation. This is not about physical sensation. This is about energetic sovereignty. This is the body becoming the bridge. This is the language of Source, remembered through the temple of self. And in that moment, when all parts of me are lit with light, when every cell is vibrating with love, I know that I'm not healing. I am already healed. The most pleasurable healing state of being. What we often chase in the physical, the fleeting high of bodily pleasure, is only a whisper of what it feels like to be fully aligned with Source, with every cell vibrating in the frequency of infinite gratitude. Heaven isn't a place, it's a state of being, one that is accessible now through conscious energy activation, deep awareness, and the sovereign return to your own frequency, your own natural state of being, which is pure love. This is where healing begins, not through force, not through fixing, not through discipline, but through complete and sustained bliss that is not physical, but energetic. And once you taste it, you stop chasing substitutes. You stop looking outside yourself because you remember who you are. Each energy center aligns with a level of consciousness, a set of emotions, physical organs, and even Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's begin at the base because that's where all journeys begin. For the fullest experience, listen with headphones and watch the visuals as you go. This activation is designed to engage all of your senses, and using headphones will heighten the immersive, energetic impact. The first energy center is the root or base chakra. Its color is red. It is found at the base of the spine. Maslow's hierarchy is survival and safety needs. The organs it governs and feeds energy to are the adrenals, colon, legs, feet, and bones. The emotions connected to it are safety, trust, survival, grounding, and fear. This is your foundation, the frequency of I am safe. When balanced, you feel secure, stable, and supported. When imbalanced, fear, anxiety, and instability dominate. This center is coded by how safe you feel in the world. Your mantra here becomes, I am divinely guided. I am safe. I am supported. I belong here. I am worthy. Worthy I am. As you activate the root chakra, visualize a deep glowing red light surrounding you, warm, vibrant, wrapping you like a cloak of primal knowing. This is the red of life force, of stability, of grounding. It holds you in the certainty that everything is as it is meant to be. When you turn the center on, electrically, you feel its vibration. It tingles with a wonderful orgasmic tone. An orgasm is a vibration you have always experienced in your mind. It has never been felt by the body alone. The body is a projection of the mind, and every orgasm you ever experienced has been achieved in your awareness of yourself, and then projected into form. I think, therefore I am, Rene Descartes. Energy has tone, and tone is received through the body's sensory system. We see tone as color. We hear it as sound. We feel it through touch, emotion, and vibration. We smell it in the aroma notes that drift past on the breeze. It's all tone, and red sets the tone for everything else. This chakra is your energetic foundation, and no house, no life can be built on an unstable foundation. Maslow knew it. Einstein confirmed it when he said, "The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or a hostile universe." Your foundation, your root, won't fully activate until you feel perfectly safe. And the day I fully activated mine was the day I remembered this truth. Everything is preordained in my favor. There is never anything to worry about. Ever. To activate the center, I needed to remember who I am. Because only in knowing who I am could I begin to remember what I can do. I make everything safe because I am Source, playing a game with itself. And the first step to safety was this realization. The energy we are all sourced from does not harm itself. If you believe otherwise, then you haven't yet remembered who you truly are. Know thyself is the key to unlocking your creative power. It is the doorway to your sovereignty, and your foundation rests upon it. So, feel the red. Imagine it enveloping you in its warmth and safety, a network of compassion, a safety network of compassion. Speak the mantra, anchor into the earth. Visualize the base of your spine connecting to the mycelium. Just as the underground network links all life below the surface, so too is our above-ground reality interconnected, invisible to the eye, but fully sensed by your energetic being. And remember, you are worthy. Worthy you are. This is the center that is first closed with a great big bang. When we are conditioned and programmed by our parents, by society, by the world, we are programmed into fear, and our foundation, the root, shuts down. This is the first center to be taken offline by our unconscious drive to be right, to survive, to fit in, to be accepted. But to reopen the base chakra, we must be willing to overcome our righteousness, because there is no right, there is no wrong, there is only frequency. Right and wrong are the same waveform, differing only by tone. They feel different, yes, but they are just feedback from your system, letting you know where you are. Disconnected from source or connected to flow? Are you rigid and defended, or are you in the zone, fluid and connected to a safety net of compassion? This is the core of the root. Safety doesn't come from outside you. It comes from knowing who you are and being willing to release the illusions you were trained to hold. And that's how we reclaim the center, through deprogramming, through awareness, and through sovereign remembrance. That brings us to the close of this first part of our journey through the energy centers. Today, we're anchored deeply into the root chakra, the foundation of safety, trust, and sovereign being. In the episodes to follow, we'll continue rising through the chakras, exploring each center in depth, its tone, its teachings, its activation, and how to consciously move energy upward, aligning it with the frequency of infinite gratitude. This series will culminate in a guided meditation designed to bring together all centers and encode every cell of your body with the vibration of the full body gratitude activation, the command code for healing, for bliss, and for creation. Thank you for being here, for grounding into the truth of who you are, and for walking this path of energetic sovereignty with me. Until next time, stay rooted, stay radiant, and remember, you are worthy, worthy you are. Mic drop. Timeline shifted, and we're out.